Join us for a captivating new series where Lawin sits down with the trailblazers of the music and entertainment world. Discover the stories behind the faces and voices that shape our culture and community.
We will bring you exclusive interviews with industry legends and rising stars. Behind the scenes insights and get a peek into the creative processes and personal journeys. Artists and performers and their upcoming shows and events.
Stay tuned for more updates and sneak peeks. Follow us on social media and subscribe to our channel.
Be bold. Why not? Season 3. Make your mark, lead with pride.
Arm yourself with courage. Stand out and rise above.
Be the leader that you can be.
Lead others with passion.
Join us as we chat with MJ. Be part of the conversation. Every Monday at 7 p.m. Central. Tuesday, 8 a.m. Philippines.
Ready for some real talk? Pink Table Talk is all about empowerment, entrepreneurship, and the vibrant stories that make the world go round. Don't miss out on the gems shared in this heart-to-heart session with Dr. 𝘾𝙖𝙧𝙡𝙀. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time.
Attention, food lovers! Get ready for a brand new culinary adventure with the Commissary Kitchen.
Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Time, or 9 a.m. in the Philippines, for a live show that brings the best of the kitchen straight to your screen.
Presented by Lawin Live Stream and Podcast and produced by Lawin Media Network, we'll explore delicious recipes, share expert cooking tips, and bring you closer to the world of gourmet cuisine.
The Commissary Kitchen, where every meal is an experience. See you there. Tune into Legal Treats with attorney 𝘾𝙖𝙧𝙧𝙗 every Friday at 8 p.m. Central Time.
Get your weekly dose of legal insights about laws and legal matters, especially on divorce, estate planning, probate, and settling a deceased estate.
Engage in discussions by posting your questions, comments, greetings, or shoutouts.
See you every Friday at 8 p.m. Central Time. That would be Saturday at 9 a.m. Philippines. Don't miss out.
In a world cluttered with information, where truth is power, Lawin Weekly News stands apart.
We delve deeper, uncover facts, and bring stories to light. From political showdowns and economic triumphs to the pulse of the street and the heart of the community.
We capture the moments that define us, stories that challenge, inspire, and transform.
Tune in live Sundays 8 a.m. Central Standard Time and Sundays 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Are you ready for engaging conversations on education, teaching strategies, trends in the classroom?
Tune in to Teacher Talk, Live 𝘾𝙖𝙧𝙧𝙗 with your hosts, Teacher Cora and Dr. Claire.
In each episode, we'll dive into meaningful discussions, share insights, and connect with fellow educators.
Don't miss out on the fun and camaraderie. Grab your coffee and join us for some lively 𝘾𝙖𝙧𝙧𝙗. Every Saturday, 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Philippines.
Lawin Media Network.
Bringing to you the most relevant content across all platforms.
Business, legal, politics, health, lifestyle, and entertainment.
Your source for all the news and updates in the greater Houston community, from Texas and all over the world.
Get informed and empowered with Lawin Media Network.
The following program is produced by Lawin Media Network. The views and opinions expressed in this program are solely those of the individuals appearing on the show and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Lawin Media Network, its affiliates, sponsors, or partners. The content provided in this program is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Lawin Media Network does not guarantee the accuracy, completeness, or timeliness of the information.
Good evening, everybody. You're watching Lawin Media Network live, either through our YouTube or our Facebook page. This is Pink Table Talk, and welcome to our 10th episode. I'm your host, Dr. 𝘾𝙧𝙧𝙀. I am a nurse educator, mentor, mother, and domestic violence survivor. I am bringing to you today a very special episode. We have our sister, MJ, Mary Jane Conception. She's my Lawin Media Network sister. That's why I call it my sister. So she has an awesome podcast as well. If you're not already tuning into it, you should every week on Monday. So I'm bringing her to you guys tonight for a very special discussion. She is a motivational speaker, nurse practitioner, and an entrepreneur. I've known MJ for quite some time, and she has always been so inspiring to me and such a pleasure to be around. She's always just generating such great energy and great positivity. So tonight, I'm going to be so excited to bring her to you guys to have a wonderful discussion. So MJ, welcome to the show.
Hi, Dr. 𝘾𝙧𝙧𝙧. How are you? Oh my God, it's been a while that we saw each other in person. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, and good evening, everyone, and to all our viewers in the Philippines. Good morning, and again, it's a pleasure to be here with Dr. 𝘾𝙧𝙧𝙧. And aren't you excited? We are both wearing pink.
I know. I'm loving this. I've been so happy to do this show because people are wearing pink. And pink is my favorite color. I've been wearing pink for years. So I always get excited when I see people joining in on the fun. And it looks great on everybody.
That's right. I know. Now I'm thinking, because, in my show, Be Bold, Why Not? Although the color of our logo is like pink and gold and or yellow, it's like I've been having a little bit of a problem trying, different wardrobe. And I'm thinking of actually just focusing on maybe a few colors and just have kind of like a uniform style, because it's hard to think of what to wear every week. But thank you, Dr. 𝘾𝙧𝙧𝙧, for inviting me tonight. I am so excited to just chat with you. I know we don't have that chance anymore to just chat in person, because I haven't, as you know, I have left St. Luke's about 4 months ago. But it's really an honor to be in your show. I'm so excited.
Thank you. Me too. I always miss our little chats. I always have so much fun. I was like, oh, there goes MJ. And so we would always have these wonderful discussions. And so, yes, I miss our little check-ins and our little chats and everything. And seeing you up in the sim lab.
I know, right? Me too. I miss that place. I do. I mean, honestly, I do. Because, I was there for almost 12 years. St. Luke's was my home for that long, and it's right now I'm in a new environment, which I'm also loving it. I think I'm in the right place. I always believe that wherever I am, I think it's part of God's plan. That's how I look at life. Whatever we go through, we experience, job, or whatever we're doing, it's all part of God's plan. So I'm grateful that I'm actually now at MD Anderson Cancer Center. But also, yes, St. Luke's is part of my journey too. I've learned a lot from there. So anyway, I can't wait to answer your questions or whatever you want to know about me. I'm so excited and I'm so willing to just share because I believe in what you said. Everybody has a story to tell, and we all have something special in us. So, and you are special, Dr. Carly. Thank you so
Oh, thank
much for
you. I
doing this
appreciate it.
with us, with Lawin Media Network. We're blessed to have you.
Oh, thank you so much, MJ. It was when we first connected back in March, and
Mhm.
through you, I was able to get this wonderfully blessed opportunity, and I'm just so grateful for it. And I enjoy this every week, and just getting to share with the world, these amazing people. There's amazing people everywhere, and so
Yes.
we got to get it out there.
That's right. That's right. Me too. I don't know, but I just love doing it too. You know what I mean? I think it's because it's what we are meant to do. Other
Yes.
than our profession as nurses, there is always something bigger than us that we're supposed to be living, right? That we're
Yes.
supposed to be doing. So I just like you, I enjoy every minute of it. We come from work every day. I mean, it's like, but then if we have we're so excited. We're just so excited to do this thing. So we gotta encourage everyone out there that whatever talent you have or whatever something that you've been wanting to do, come on, let's do it. The world need
Yes.
us, right?
Yes. See, that's what
Yes,
I'm talking about. I love this positivity and this great
Mhm.
motivational energy.
Mhm.
It's always so wonderful to be able to receive that energy from you, because then I take that on and then I'm able to give it back out to the world. So I hope you
Yes.
do that for people. And that's why I
Oh,
think you're
thank
just so
you.
amazing. Yeah. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
You're
So,
welcome.
speaking of nursing, can you talk to us about yourself and what made you get into nursing? Can you tell our audience a little bit about you?
Okay, well, it's funny because I know I've probably shared this a lot of times already, but people may not be listening. So maybe tonight there are people out there that are actually listening and that they can learn from my story.
Yes.
As I've shared in the past, I grew up in public speaking. Like ever since I was in first grade, my first public speaking was I was in first grade. It was like in front of my like elementary school students. I was wearing our national costume in the Philippines. They call it balintawak. It's a dress
Wow.
with, the 𝐴𝐻𝐵𝐷𝐼𝐻. Yeah, and I recited a poem. So
Oh, wow.
so ever since then, I've been in declamation, oratorical speaking, competitions and all that. And I have gone as far as national competitions with oratorical speaking.
Wow.
But because I came from a very poor family and we have relatives in the US, we have rich relatives, so to speak. My grandparents were black sheeps of the family. So,
Ah,
it was a difficult life. And as I was growing up, I always dreamt of really getting our family out of poverty. So my
yes.
dream was
Yes.
always focused on like how am I going to help my family. So when I graduated high school, everybody thought I would go into mass comm journalism and
Oh,
broadcasting and all that, right? So which I did. I actually
oh,
went
wow.
to University of the Philippines, College Baguio, and I started with mass comm journalism.
Wow.
But then my relatives here in the United States, one of my grandpa's sisters said, we won't be able to help you come to the US if you do
Um,
mass comm journalism. So why don't you take up nursing? And nursing, it's right. It's
yes.
the way for us Filipinos to
To
come to
get
the
here.
US. So
Yes.
I had to give up my dream of becoming a
Wow.
public speaker or maybe a lawyer. I also wanted to be a lawyer because people who speak, people who are good in communications, they go to either a a broadcaster or a journalist or lawyer. So I
Yes.
had to give that up so I can help my
Aw.
family. So that's how I became a nurse. But I just wanted to let everybody know, even though nursing was not my first dream job, I promise you and I assure you, I love people. So
Yes.
I
Yes.
enjoy every minute of it. And I believe it's also a calling of mine to be a nurse. Because
Yes.
as you know, Dr. Carly, it's not easy to be a nurse. You have to
No.
have that compassion for people. You
Yes.
have to
So
love
true.
what you do. Otherwise, you're not gonna last, and you're be miserable because you don't love what you do. So I am a nurse, even though I said it wasn't my first love, but I've been a nurse for over 30 years and I still
Wow.
enjoy it. I love talking to patients. I love directing, the goal of care for our patients, for the families. I just love people. I don't know, if you're a people person, I think you are a good fit to be a nurse. So that's how I became a nurse. Yes.
Oh, that's so wonderful, MJ. And you're so right. You have to love people.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be compassionate. It's not an easy job. It's not an easy career. You have to really be in it for all the right reasons. I know
Mm-hmm.
after COVID, a lot of people tried to go in it for the money, but they
Mm-hmm.
easily became burnt out because it's
Mm-hmm.
not a career for money.
It's
It's a
not.
career, it's a ministry, just like you said, and
Mm-hmm.
I too feel that it's a ministry. I feel that it's a way for me to be able to show God's love and
Mm-hmm.
compassion to others, whether they're sick or whether it's promoting wellness and health.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that God has placed people in this world who have that passion to be able to deliver His work through our hands. So
That's right. And yeah, that's totally right. And as I said, sometimes we have plans, right? We have
yes,
dreams for our lives. But if it's not in God's plan, it's not going to happen. So I
absolutely.
believe, yes, I believe that me becoming a nurse was part of God's plan. Because as the Bible says, God already knows what His plans for you even before you were born. So
Yes.
I'm leaving my mission in this world, being a nurse, and now even bigger than what I dreamt. Now I am able to reach people through podcasts. Now He gave me
Yes.
the opportunity to actually live my dream. So
Oh,
that's
that's
how God
wonderful.
works. That's how God operates. When
Oh,
you
that's so
follow
beautiful.
Him, yeah, when you follow Him, He's going to give you all the desires of your heart in
It's so
ways we
true.
cannot imagine. Yes.
Yes. Oh,
So I'm
that's
so
so true.
blessed.
Thank you so much, MJ, for that. That's so beautiful, and you're so absolutely right. We do have to follow God's plans because He will truly bless them for us. So we're going to go ahead and take our first break of the evening, and we'll be back with Nurse MJ.
All right.
Join us for a captivating new series where Lawin sits down with the trailblazers of the music and entertainment world. Discover the stories behind the faces and voices that shape our culture and community.
We will bring you exclusive interviews with industry legends and rising stars. Behind the scenes insights and get a peek into the creative processes and personal journeys. Artists and performers and their upcoming shows and events.
Stay tuned for more updates and sneak peeks. Follow us on social media and subscribe to our channel.
to Pink Table Talk. The show is produced by Lawin Media Network. Be sure to tune in live each Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can also check us out on Apple, Google, Spotify, and Amazon Podcasts. We're on over 15 different podcast platforms. So tonight we have our special guest, our fellow Lawin Media Network talker, pod show host, MJ, and she is talking to us about nursing and being an inspirational leader. So MJ, you talked to us earlier about growing up in poverty and, coming over here to the States. Can you talk to us now what it was like? How does it feel now? Because now, clearly you're working, you're successful. Is there any survivor's guilt, so to speak? What has that transition been like?
Well, I can honestly say life is always going to be like full of struggles, right?
Yes.
But I'm so blessed that from poverty, there is an improvement in our generation.
Yes.
My goal growing up was to help my brothers and sisters because we lost our parents young. They were young when they passed. My mom was only 47.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Yes. And my father was like 56 when he passed away. So my dream was all of us will have a better life. But as I said, you can only do so much. So now I have another brother and sister in the US. One of them is a nurse. My other sister is an assistant manager at Whataburger in Lubbock, Texas. Our oldest and youngest are still in the Philippines. Okay. So I could say that life has improved much. But as long as there's improvement each generation, that's okay. Because we don't expect life to be perfect. But I am blessed. I can say that with all the hardships in life, with all those struggles, with all the pains and the darkness, God has put us in this position now where we can say that it's been an improvement.
Yes.
We were able, through our efforts and love for each other, because your brothers and sisters are always going to love them wherever you go. We have changed the trajectory of our life. And that's all because of God's faithfulnsus. And of course, because we listen, because we hear him, because we believe in him, we stay faithful. And as I said, I always cling to his promise too. There's a verse in the Bible, I think it's Isaiah, where he says, whatever he has started in you, he will be faithful to complete it.
Wow. Yes.
So I know that whatever happens in life, we're here, we're so blessed. We're thousands of miles away from the Philippines. And because of his blessings, because of me becoming a nurse, it's not to lift myself up, but it's all glory to God. It's not only my family that I have been able to help, but even people that I don't know. Because so I'm able to share whatever I have. I'm not rich materially. I'm not, but we are in a better position. We have more comfort in life now. But my riches is in my family. My riches is in my kids. My riches is in the people that I'm able to touch, whether or not emotionally, physically, spiritually, or even financially that I can support. It's all in the people that I have helped in my own little ways. They are my riches. So God's blessings have poured out in my family, and I cannot thank him enough. I cannot give enough credit, because out of poverty, I'm not kidding. Literally, we were homeless. We didn't have any home of our own. We moved from homes or houses of relatives. We rented. We didn't have a house of our own. And Dr. Carly, it's only 3 years ago when we were able to build the first, I mean, like a family home. And it's not even that,
Wow.
yeah, it's not even that huge or something. It's a small family home that we can call our own. So it's like, how much more can I thank God? I don't know. But he has moved us, or he had, from like poverty to now we have home of our own. My brothers and sisters are better. We are all in a better situation. So
Yes.
that's how life has been for us, and I'm just so grateful.
Oh, that's so wonderful. I always love, I wouldn't call it rags to riches, but I always love when I hear stories of people who started out, with less than, and then they work hard to achieve
Hmm.
more. And I love how you said that it's an improvement,
Hmm.
and that's such a realistic view. I
Hmm.
feel that with the American dream and with society, we constantly push such a big leap.
Hmm.
We expect that in one generation, we're going to go from, someone who's dirt poor, barely making it, to high millionaire status. And
Hmm.
that's just not realistic.
Yeah.
No, it really isn't,
Yeah.
yeah. And so a lot of people, they're kind of disappointed when that doesn't happen in one generation. But when you look at those families that do have that great generational wealth, that started many, many generations ago.
Yeah.
We're looking at least 4 or 5 generations down the line, that these
Hmm.
families had started out with small companies, or, small little stores that are now, huge conglomerates now. But I love that you said improvement, because
Oh
it's
yeah.
true. For your children, or even for the next generation, just that little bit better is going to then give them another stepping stone. And then we can say, in a few generations down, now we finally arrived. Now we've made it. So I love
Yes.
that. I
Yeah,
really
and
love that.
that's true. And when our line of thought is not like that, we lose sight of the blessings that we have, and
Yes,
we don't appreciate them. Every little progress is progress.
yes, yes,
Yes. And when we don't think and feel that way, we neglect to be grateful. We neglect to share our blessings because we still are looking for something, and we tend to not appreciate the moment. And
yes,
we're missing on that. And we don't want us to miss on that opportunity for you to just, wow. Wow. I mean, it's like, I can't imagine Dr. Carly. I mean, wow, I really am overwhelmed with gratitude
oh,
because from being homeless, there were five
yes.
of us, I have five siblings.
Wow.
And we moved from one house to another, to another, to another. I think we
Mm,
probably moved about 5 or 6 times.
wow.
I mean,
Oh
it's no
my.
joke. It's no
Oh,
joke.
yeah.
So now
Um,
I'm like, every time I come home and I see my house, it's like, Lord, you
thank
have been
you.
so good to me. I mean, it's like,
Yes.
my favorite song, there's a song, the Christian song, you've been so good to me. And I
Yes.
can't,
Yes.
yes, I love that song because from the bottom of my heart, that's how I feel. And sometimes, so I'm a human, everybody feels some negativity sometimes. And sometimes I feel like it's not enough, but it is. It's more than enough. I mean,
Yes.
it is. So yes, we should never really lose sight of the attitude of gratitude, of being
Yes.
happy that we have accomplished something, that we are in a better place. It may not be the one that you're dreaming of, but
Yeah.
you're getting there. Every
Yes.
step of the way, we are getting to what God has destined us to be, right?
Yes, it's so true. And I love that you say that, because the attitude of gratitude. You know, it's funny. About 2 years ago, I started, just going to therapy, and my therapist said, "Well, what are you doing for self-care?" I said, "Well, I'm going to get my hair done, my nails done, all these things." She's like, "No, no, no, that's not self-care. You need to start a gratitude journal." And I said, "A gratitude journal?" She's like, "Yes, you need to start writing down what you are grateful for." And I said, "That's interesting." I said, "How is that self-care?" I'm thinking massages and putting out candles. But what that taught me was it helps you to reflect on where you're at now, how far you've come, and it helps you to appreciate, like you said, where you are. And that really changed my mindset. And it really helped to pull me out of this dark place that I was in at that time. Because I was like, I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do, eating good, getting out, getting fresh air, like I said, getting my hair, nails done, all those supposedly self-care things. But it wasn't until I started to appreciate where I was, what God has already done for me, and then putting that gratefulness in him, where I felt a difference. And I think that we need to really put more emphasis in being grateful. We're always thinking of what's next or what more or what he hasn't already done for us. But we need to be more grateful and appreciative of what we already have. And so I think that that's just so important for everyone.
Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah.
Yes, so that's good. So we're going to take another break right now. But when we come back, we're going to have more of a discussion with Nurse MJ.
All right.
In a world filled with fleeting moments, there's beauty waiting to be captured. My name is Christian, and I specialize in immortalizing your most precious memories, from elegant weddings to vibrant events and timeless portraits. I'm here to make every moment unforgettable. Let me tell your story through the lens. Contact me today and let's create magic together.
In a world cluttered with information, where truth is power, Lawin Weekly News stands apart.
We delve deeper, uncover facts, and bring stories to light. From political showdowns and economic triumphs to the pulse of the street and the heart of the community.
We capture the moments that define us, stories that challenge, inspire, and transform.
Tune in live Sundays 8 a.m. Central Standard Time and Sundays 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
The Pink Table Talk. Tonight we're talking with the wonderful Nurse MJ. So before we went on break, we were talking about the attitude of gratitude. So I think that's a wonderful practice that everybody should participate in. Helps you to stay grounded and appreciate where you are in life.
That's
so
right.
Nurse MJ, yes, thank you. So you have such a strong faith, Nurse MJ. So can you tell us, where does that faith come from and what inspires you?
You know what? I think it's all part of God's plan, because as I said, I grew up in poverty. And to be honest, we didn't grow up in the church. I remember while I was growing up, we only went to church like maybe Christmas like
Oh, okay.
very occasional. Because in the
Yeah.
Philippines, we are all born Catholic, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but we really didn't grow up in the church. But I always had that intuition that God has always been in my life, that there is some higher power that was guiding me. And then back when I was in college, my sister-in-law, who's my hi Ate Claire, who's my oldest brother's wife, she she invited me to this born again Christian church, which I
Wow.
went and attended. And from then on, although I knew that I already had personal relationship with God growing up, even though we didn't go to church that much, when I attended the church, that's when I realized that yes, you can grow closer to God. And it's not about religion. To me,
Yeah.
Christianity is not about religion. It's more of a personal relationship with God. And I believe from the bottom of my heart that He's always been there guiding me.
Yes.
That's why
Wow.
I grew up. You know how life was really hard. I mean, I'm not kidding. If I tell you my story, it's going to be a book. It's going to be
Wow.
a book
Wow.
because, well, I love my father. I mean, he's like, may he rest in peace. He's in heaven now with the Lord.
That's
But
good.
we were a very dysfunctional family. We weren't only poor, but we also had like abuse in the family,
Oh.
physical, emotional,
Mm.
all those
Mm.
things. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I became this person. I always tell whenever I share to people, even people that I just meet and I know, whenever I tell my story, it's like how? And you know
Yeah.
what? The answer, it's God. He's
Yes.
always
There
been
you go.
there. He's
Yeah.
always been there. And I always say I do not regret anything that I've gone through, any of those hardships, any of the trials, all those things, I don't regret because that's what those things have made me to who I am now. You
Oh.
know, as
Wow.
Tony Robbins, he says it's in this along this line. It's not exactly how he say it, but the deeper the failure, the biggest is the lesson that you learn in
Wow.
life.
Wow. Yeah.
Yes. The deeper the valley, the higher the mountain that you can conquer, the sweeter is the victory as well. So, all those struggles have made me the person that I am. And I've always believed that God has always been there for me.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So, I think we are all a miracle in motion. God,
Wow. I love
yes.
that.
Yeah, we are all a miracle in motion. Miracles, they don't have to be big, right? It's up to you how you perceive things.
Yes.
If you see even a small success for you, maybe a big one
Yes.
for the other. And God is there because if it's not because of him, we won't be here. I'm
Yeah.
very vocal about that. And sometimes people is like they feel like you're different, but that's
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
Christianity is. Because as they say,
Yeah.
the world is wide, right? Because we can do anything you want. If you want to conform with the world, you can do anything you want. But if you want to follow and live your faith and follow the road to Christianity, it's narrower.
Yes.
So we
Yes.
understand us. But God will work his way in these people. And I think we
Wow.
all here, the believers like us, we are here to shine God's light so people can see
Yes.
it, right? So we
Yeah.
are here to shine his light. So yes, thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that. But yes, I have that very, very personal relationship with God because I believe he's always been there guiding me all through these years. And as I said, life is not
Mhm.
perfect. Bec-
Yes,
yeah,
that's true.
life is not perfect because if it is, we're not here, right? Or God
That's
is
true.
not going to be here if it's perfect. We are
Mm-hmm.
here because life is all about growing in our faith,
Yeah.
growing in our, in our skills, growing in our talent. It's all about growth. We are here to
Mm-hmm.
grow and grow our love for each other. So I don't know, but I'm just so passionate about talking about this because that's how I have lived my life. There's no
Wow.
other way. There's nobody else I can give credit to. Of course, I give credit to the people that God has brought in my
Yes.
life because He
Mm-hmm.
uses people to carry out His plans, right? So
Yes.
actually, I want to acknowledge again. Have relatives in Stockton, California. My Lola Merced, she
Aw.
has been helping me since I was in elementary school. I have
Aw.
relatives in South San Francisco. My
Wow.
father's cousins, their mom was the one who actually told me, come to the US, we'll do everything to help you. So I
Yes.
have like Auntie Gloria May, Uncle Chito, Auntie Joanne, Uncle
Yeah.
Johnny Boy, my father's cousins. And I have relatives in the Philippines who also were there for us. Because as
Wow.
I said, they are well off. And we were like, it's like, it's like my grandparents were the black sheep. So it's like we were the rotten tomato in a basket of full of fresh tomatoes, right? But God has improved us. So now
Wow.
we're here to also bless others, even though, as I said, nothing is perfect. We're always going to
Yeah.
have troubles. We're always going to have trials in life. But these trials can turn into triumph.
Yes, that's so
Yes.
true.
Yes.
Wow. Oh, MJ, that's so amazing. You're just so inspiring and your story is just so amazing. And I can relate to it on so many levels, just from, growing up, not having a lot of money or resources. My grandfather was also like the black sheep of the family. And we were like the only ones in the north. The rest of the family was from the south.
Mhm.
Growing up and also Christian, living that narrow lifestyle, living that
Mhm.
that tougher life. And I come from a dysfunctional family too. And I didn't realize it was dysfunctional until I got older. And I'm like, wait a second, you mean now
Uh-huh.
everybody's yelling in their household at each other?
Yeah.
So it's been, I had like my childhood through college, but then now I'm having like my real life,
Mhm.
and since then, and it's like the real learning has begun. And I too credit that to God. And I
Mhm.
really can relate how you said, you follow him, you trust him, he guides you, but we go through some valleys, and I've
Mhm.
been through some tough valleys. I have people today who say, I don't know how you're standing, how you're still living today, how you're still surviving. And I always tell them, it is God. And I don't know either. I don't know.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
But it's so true. And I think that for people like us, we have this resilience.
Oh,
And
yes.
yes. And I think people can see that, and they can relate to us, or they can find strength in our story. And so I was talking with my sister actually earlier today, and she said, I know God has us go through things so we can inspire others, but she's like, but why do we got to go through so much? And she's like, and at what point is enough for the story? And I said, well, until
Yeah.
he gets his glory, until he gets his glory, we're going to go through that story.
That's right. And I want to share because one of the guys that I'm watching or listening to on podcasts and YouTube, his name is Ed Milet. And you know what I love? I always also like clinging to what he has said, that we are most qualified to help the person that we used to be.
Yes.
Yes,
Wow. Wow.
that's why we go through those struggles, because that will make us qualified to make or impact a person. right? And then Brendan
Wow.
Bouchard too with Growth Day, he says, honor the struggles.
Yes.
Because without
Yes.
struggles, we don't grow. I mean,
Yes.
we're not here. Life is not about, life is not bed of roses. It's not.
No, it
Yes.
isn't.
So I love that because that's what he says. We go through life, we go through the difficulties of life so that we can help the person that is going to go through the same path that we have been through.
Yes, and
Right?
it's so true. It's so
Mm-hmm.
true. And I believe that because I've seen that recently in my life, I feel like God has just been bringing people towards me in my life. And it's like I could sit down next to somebody and we might start talking and their story, and I'm like, wait a second, that story sounds familiar.
Uh-huh.
I said, who told you my story? Who told you my story? Did somebody say something to you? You know, and I'm like, God must have sent you to sit next to me at this particular time so that we could connect, you know.
Yes.
And it's just like that, you know, it's just like that. And in those moments where you're like, okay, God, I see you, you know, I see you up there doing your thing.
Yeah, I know. And you know what, that makes me remember, you know, when before I came to the US, I actually also taught in an agency. I helped nurses pass the test of spoken English.
Wow,
Yes.
that's
Yeah, because
awesome.
before back then you cannot come to the US without passing this test. It's called TSE, or Test of Spoken
Yes.
English. So I
Yes.
was a reviewer for one of the agencies in the Philippines that were helping nurses come to the United States. And as I was teaching them in the class and I was sharing part of my story, because I loved sharing it, you know, because you never know which life is going to be impacted, right? So
Yes.
after the class, one of the students approached me. And you know what she said? You know what? She said, Miss Jane, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Because
Yes.
now I understand my dad better. Now I can forgive
Wow.
my dad because of
Wow.
your story. Yes, because it's like, how
Mm.
did you do it? How do you do it? But hearing
Yeah.
your story, now I can forgive my dad.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
so you're
Amazing.
right. You know, our story, God brings people in our lives that can bless us, or people in our lives that we can bless.
Yes,
Right?
it's so
That
true.
imagine forgiving your own father because of my story. I mean, not only did you forgive your father, but you attained freedom because now you're
Yes.
free from whatever hurt you have, from whatever resentment you have. You're free. And that's what we're here for, right? To make a
Yes.
positive
Mm.
impact on the people around us. Yeah.
Yes, it's so true.
Yeah.
Oh, MJ, this has been so wonderful. Oh, and I love that statement that you said there. And it's so true. You know, we're going to be able to use our story and, like I said, for his glory and to make an impact. So we're going to go ahead and take our last break for the night, but we're going to be back with more Nurse MJ. So stay tuned.
Okay.
MJ having a very faith-filled and inspiring conversation. MJ, it's so funny. Earlier, you were mentioning all your different relatives. And you know what I love so much about the Filipino community is how you're all so together. You're such a close-knit community. And you guys all support each other and you all stick together and you make amazing food. I have to say, I love, what is it, lumpias and then the noodles. Oh my gosh. Whenever we have like potlucks, I'm like, oh, somebody better bring those lumpias in. And,
I'm glad you love them.
Oh, yes. They're so delicious. But your community is so beautiful. I love how the Filipino kind of people stay together and you guys really support one another. You had me laughing earlier because you said, you had to be a nurse to come to America. And I said, you know what? It's so true. Because I remember even as a child, my mom worked in a hospital and New York City had a huge campaign bringing over tons of Filipino nurses to come and work for us. And I just said, yes, that's so true. It's such but you guys make up such a huge part of the nursing workforce. And you guys are such amazing and strong nurses. And I always have a pleasure working with you guys. And it's just always so nice, So I just wanted to kind of throw that in there.
Thank you. Actually, Dr. Carly, it's not just in the United States. There's Filipino nurses all over the world.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
There's lumpias all over the world.
Yes, there's lumpia all over the world. That's true. That's so funny. Yes.
Oh my gosh. So MJ, tell us about some of your upcoming endeavors. I know you've been doing a lot of work with motivational speakers. So can you tell our audience about some of the things they can expect from you in the future?
Well, I just want to let everybody know that I've been working on actually creating a coaching career. So
great.
I've been working on myself to do that. Because, of course, I need more guidance. I need more knowledge. I need more skills. But the people that I'm listening to, they say you don't have to be 100% prepared to do it. Just jump in. Which I...
Uh-oh. Might have lost MJ.
Go.
There we go. We got you back.
Yeah. So I've been trying to grow myself. In fact, I am John Maxwell certified coach, trainer, speaker. Yes.
Wow.
I'm also certified legendary speaker by Les Brown.
Wow.
I've been attending all this personal growth and development seminars and trainings. And I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. Actually, I subscribe to this app. I love it. It's called Growth Day with Brendan Burchard. I love it. I listen to his Daily Fire every day. I've been trying to get all the skills and the knowledge and the motivation and the inspiration that I can get from the gurus in the personal coaching world.
Yes.
And I know when you have to invest in yourself.
Yes.
So I've invested in myself to grow more so I can help more people.
Yes.
In fact, I created my company. It's called MJ Indeed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. MJ does not only mean my name, of course, MJ, Mary Jane, but that actually means your mastery and journey to a better you.
Oh, wow. I love that. That's
yes.
great.
So MJ Indeed, I'm here to help people live life and navigate through life in a better way, to help them discover their talents, the greatness in them, because I believe everybody has something special to offer. It's not just us, but everybody, whatever it is that you've been wanting to do in your life, you might still discovering. And that's what MJ Indeed is all about. And also
Wow.
created another Facebook page. It's called �々𝙧𝙀. So
Wow.
it's a community to encourage and motivate and empower. And it's just a community of people who are willing to take that bold step. Because I believe another thing that I love about Ed Milet, he's got this book. It's called The Power of One More.
Oh,
And
wow.
sometimes,
Interesting.
and sometimes it may be just one step. It
Wow.
might be just one call, or maybe just one book. You're maybe just one seminar away. You may be just one person away from actually meeting your other version of yourself. Because I
Wow.
believe that every single one of us has a better version of us. We
Yes.
just have not met that better version. And I'm here to help everybody do that. I've also been talking to people, I know we talked about it. We should have a live event, like a
Yes.
seminar.
Oh,
Yeah,
that would
like
be
that
wonderful.
would be really great. I have a friend, we've been communicating and we've been planning to actually have an actual event, because I really want to empower people. It's not
Yes.
that, it's not that I want to elevate myself. It's not that. I know that I have experiences that can help people, that can encourage, empower, motivate, inspire, and just make even though no matter how small of a difference that is, it can start from just one thing, and you can grow to the best version of you. And that's what I'm here for. And
Oh,
on top
wonderful.
of that, so I don't know, I think I have come to realization, Dr. Carly. I'm
Yes.
almost I'm almost 53. I'll be 53 on
No way.
yeah,
No way.
it's true. I'll be 53 on Friday, and I
Wow.
now have
Happy
clarity.
anniversary.
Thank you. I now have clarity of what I am here for in this world.
Wow.
Being a nurse, where I can make an impact and I can serve my patients and their families. Being a speaker, having the podcast and having the opportunity to be part of Lawin Media Network, that's my other thing. And also, not many of you probably know, I'm a life agent. I'm a life licensed agent. And
Wow.
that one thing too, I can add value to people because
Yes.
I have been there. We lost our parents. They didn't have life insurance. Life was difficult.
Mm.
I
Wow.
have had people in my life that have been blessed because of this. So,
Yeah.
three things, I'm here to just add value to people. That's
Yes.
it. Whether or not it's through my being a nurse, or it's through Lawin Media Network doing this podcast, or it's through meeting people that I can offer the peace of mind by securing their family and their future. I think
Yes.
I'm in the world of service, and I'm the
Mhm.
world of adding value to people, because as John Maxwell says, I love him too. He's one of the best leadership gurus ever lived. He has written, like, I think hundreds of books. I can't
Oh, wow.
I haven't read all of them, but I think almost 100 books. But don't take my word for it. But it's adding value to people.
Yes, I love that. I love
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Wow.
That's I think
Beautiful.
that's my role in life. That's my mission in life. And I'm happily living it. I'm happily living it. As I said, my life is not perfect. I still go through personal struggles, but I always say at the end of the day that I have lived my life, and that's what matters. That you
Yes.
take the bold step of living the life that you want. Even if you have
Yes.
to go through some trials or hurdles, as long as you tried. Because if you don't try, you're not going to ever know, right?
Yes. It's so
So that's
true.
what I'm here for, and I love sharing it. And I pray that God will give me the opportunity to just keep sharing, to just keep encouraging and motivating and empowering people. And I know you're there for me if I need some encouragement too. We are here to help and encourage each other. This is what we need in this world. We are to lift each other up,
Yes, it's
right?
so true. It's so
Yes,
true.
yes.
Oh, MJ, I think you're there. I don't think you need any more training. I think you are ready to coach and inspire the world.
Mhm,
I know that you have inspired me, and
mhm.
I think the world is ready for you and what you have to offer. You have so much experience, you have so much education, so much faith. I think that you can definitely help to motivate the world and the next generation. I appreciate you for coming on my show tonight. It's been such a pleasure. And for my audience, be sure to check out MJ's show, Be Bold, Why Not, on Mondays at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And then I think it's 8 o'clock in the morning in the Philippines.
That's right. Yes.
Yes. So be sure to watch her. She's also on Lawin Media Network, either through our Facebook or our YouTube channel. So that's all we have for you guys tonight. Thank you for tuning in live. This is Pink Table Talk. On Wednesdays, we talk pink. Be sure to check us out either through the Lawin Media Network YouTube page or our Facebook page or on Amazon, Google, Apple, Spotify podcast platforms. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
God bless everyone. Thank